broadcast nearly cracked 900,000. The pregame drew almost 250. Now we're talking about these last games in the finals, the pregame show, and whether it's Sportsnet or TSN, whatever, the interest in the game and in the team and in the sport and in what the Raptors are doing. Pregame show is drawing 2 million. Broadcast is drawing 6, 7, 8 million. I don't know what it would have done tonight. Probably close to 10. It's just ridiculous how the numbers have vaulted off the page in this last 6 to 8 weeks. So to go back to what you spoke about, Josh, in my final call, that's why I really wanted to try to make sure I said it was city, province, country. And even in saying that, I still got some tweets from folks, and I appreciate it and I respect it, that said, hey, what about me? I'm in Spain. I'm in Australia. I'm in the United States. It's a nation. It's a movement. It's something bigger than even just the coast to coast of Canada.
Well, it's so true, Eric. It's an international game, and the Raptors are kind of an international team. It's been a long day for you. We'll let you go, but I do want to ask you one more because we haven't talked about it, and I'd like your perspective on it. The championship is great. It is always fantastic. It means the world and everything. There's no question. But I think the fact that the Raptors, and yes, they were banged up and injured without question. And would that have changed it? Well, perhaps, for 100% sure. But to win 3 straight, Eric, at the Oracle and dethrone the Golden State Warriors, I mean, the first championship is going to be sweet. You could have beaten anybody. It could have been a 4-game sweep or a 7-game series. But come on, you just beat a generational team here in the Golden State Warriors. And, hey, full credit for them, the way they battled tonight, facing a lot of adversity.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Raj. And listen, I of all the texts and messages I've gotten and tweets and everything else, I don't know if you guys have had otherwise. I don't know what the tone of some of your phone calls have been, but I had one person message me, and with no words, it was just an asterisk. And I'll tell you, you can only play, and I think you guys would agree, and most listeners would agree, you play who's in front of you.
Exactly.
You can't control who your opponent is, period. And, we could sit here and talk for the next 10, 15 minutes, if not the next hour, about Golden State not having to deal with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love one year, and Golden State not having to deal with Kawhi Leonard in a previous round to get to the finals after Leonard went down, and Golden State not having to deal with Chris Paul when he got hurt in one of the years with the Houston Rockets and everything else. The list goes on. The Raptors can't control what happened to the Golden State Warriors. Did Klay Thompson's injury tonight impact the outcome of the game? Potentially, yeah. He was going off. He had 30. He was incredible. He was another Game 6 Klay. They've become his signature games. It's god-awful what happened to him. I feel sick about what happened to him and to Kevin Durant. It's a crazy, unfair stroke of bad luck that happened to the Warriors in this finals. But I would still say, even in the face of that, if we were to talk right now, if we broke up, we were on the schoolyard, Raj, or even Josh, and we were captains, and I said, all right, I get Kawhi Leonard, you get Steph Curry, and fine, you get the next pick. Chances are you're taking Draymond Green with the next pick. And then we're saying, okay, I might take Kyle Lowry or Pascal Siakam. Point being, even without Klay, even without KD, Golden State still had arguably 2 of the next 3 best players in the series. Toronto won this series because their defense was better than Golden State's, their depth was better than Golden State's, and overall, injuries or otherwise, they were the team in the series. And to your point, to win 3 straight in their joint, no matter who was playing, in that building, with the history of that building, the history of success in that building, plus the history of tonight being the last game and the emotions that brings and everything else, if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season, let alone the beginning of the series, let alone the beginning of the game tonight, I promise you, I was saying it to other people, I didn't think Toronto would win 3 straight. I thought we were going to 7. And I then thought there's no chance the Raptors are losing Game 7 because Golden State's not going to beat Toronto 3 straight games overall in the series with how Toronto has played. It also would have taken Golden State beating Toronto 3 straight games in their joint after beating the Raptors at Scotiabank Arena in Game 2, Game 5, and then it would have taken a Game 7. So I still felt Toronto was winning this series. But my point about what I would have said to you at the beginning of the season, Oracle Arena is the toughest place in the NBA to go to and win. That is the craziest, most rabid fan base, a fan base that has seen their team go to the championship for 4 and now 5 straight years. For the Raptors to do what they did to walk into the finals and win every game at Oracle, it's absolutely incredible what they did. And this championship was more than earned and is certainly more than well deserved.
Eric Smith called it history tonight for sure for him and for all of us. The Raptors win the NBA championship, and they defeat the Golden State Warriors and end a dynasty in Golden State and close down that arena in good old Canadian fashion. Eric, fantastic call tonight. Thanks so much again.
Thanks, guys.
That's Eric Smith, Roger Lajoie, Josh Goldberg with you. The entire, you know what really bugs me about the entire, and we didn't get any calls, and we're going right back to the phones, guys, so hold on, we'll get right to you. This asterisk, I don't even want to go there because it's just a stupid thing to say.
Yep.
And, you know, people, I don't even know why they talk that way. The only asterisk in the history of sports was going to be the Roger Maris Babe Ruth home run record. Like, nobody talks like that. Nobody goes back, oh, yeah, the year of the NHL strike, that didn't count in the stat. Nobody even remembers who won the cup. Doesn't matter. Whoever won the cup deserved the cup. You beat who you do. But I guess the thing is, we have the tendency, Eric probably got all these tweets, all this stuff, and you get one dumb one from a guy with an asterisk, and you remember that.
Yeah.
And a real fast story, Larry David, great comedian.
Yeah.
Fabulous guy. He's at Yankee Stadium one night. Yankee PR guys come up to him and they go, Mr. David, we put you on the Jumbotron. And he goes, yeah, sure. And he goes, you know, Yankee Stadium crowd can get a little, I don't care about that stuff. Put me on the Jumbotron. Put him on the Jumbotron. He gets a standing ovation. Place goes crazy. Larry David, people turn around, love Larry David, you're the greatest. And then he's feeling great. He goes into his part, and he's told this story. He goes into his car. His buddies are leaving Yankee Stadium, getting the limo, whatever he is, on his way back home. Driver pops by, pops down the windshield. Hey, David, you suck.
Yeah.
All the way home, David's in the back seat. And his buddies are going, Larry, what's the problem? He goes, what's the matter with that guy?
Mm-hmm.
And they turn around, they go to him, Larry, you just got a standing ovation from 50,000 people. But what do you remember?
The one
guy who's being a jerk.
Yeah.
Same thing when you get one guy or a bar, not one, say 1% of the population throwing something at that. Concentrate on the good. And I can tell you one thing now, and from all the reaction on our calls, tweets, emails I've seen tonight, Raptors are getting nothing but love right now.
Yeah, nothing but love. And if you want...
And not just Toronto, I mean everywhere.
Yeah, United States, wherever it is. I think basketball fans appreciate the fact that the better team won in this series. And, okay, if you want to say that the Warriors weren't at full capacity, fine, that's true. But like Eric said, they benefited a number of times on the way to their 3 titles in now 5 years with some injury luck. It's the way it goes. It's hard to stay healthy over the course of 82 games and the playoffs. Like, maybe that's the argument for shortening the regular season, but the Raptors can only beat the team in front of them. And the team in front of them was still good and still made it tough as hell to get that 4th win tonight. So any downside, I don't see it. Enjoy the title.
And never mind shortening the season. How about a little load management?
Yes.
That was a good idea.
It's going to take over, I think.
Oh, boy, we get a trend coming now, man. You wait. There are going to be a lot of load managers in the NBA moving forward, but that's a topic for another day. Zach in Mississauga, thanks for holding. Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, guys. I felt compelled to call today because I'm one of those people in the generation where I've never actually seen Toronto win a major sports title. I was born but not old enough yet to remember the Blue Jays runs. I was still an infant, and then the Maple Leafs even still with Doug Gilmour all those years. So it's pretty amazing. I felt I had to go downtown and experience it firsthand, enjoy all the excitement. So it was pretty special to see it all. It kind of felt like Toronto was kind of the team of destiny. Seeing anybody that kind of got in the way, the basketball guys kind of just figured they were just going to remove them from the series, i.e. KD and Clay, but prayers out to those guys. Hopefully they're going to come back healthy next year at some point. But Toronto just was destined to win this championship. Van Vliet was amazing. Kyle scoring the first 11 points for the Raptors was unreal. Kawhi Like, you can't say enough about the guy. He was our MVP. He did it all playoffs long, and it was really special. So I'm just really excited to be able to experience all this for the first time.
Zach, thank you, and a great call, and thank you for calling. And basically, you described yourself as a guy who's under 30. That's how long it's been.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jay's last won the World Series 26 years ago. I don't know how many memories people have when they're 4 years old of those kind of events and how much it sinks in on you. So therefore, anybody who's under 30, Josh, hasn't seen this. And that, again, gives you the historical significance. We were watching some of the highlights on TV of the streets in Toronto. Oh,
Wow.
my goodness. Are they absolutely crazy? And everything I'm hearing so far is everybody's having a good time. And there's not much nonsense, which is great. And not surprised in Toronto to see that as well.
I'm 30, just turned 30. Haven't seen anything like this. Like I was a toddler, like a little kid running around when the Blue Jays won. I was 3 and 4 years old. I guess I was breathing, so it technically counts. I have seen a championship in my lifetime, but I can appreciate it. I'm a big basketball fan. I think you know that. The NBA's my favorite sport, so just to appreciate this Raptors team for what it has been, an unconventional path to a title, to say the least, plucking a star when, stars like that, generally speaking, don't become available. Everything just fit into place at the perfect time. It was building a championship team is a complicated puzzle. Sometimes it takes you a couple of tries and you get frustrated. Maybe you put the box back on the shelf and you get too frustrated, don't want to look at it anymore. But credit to Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster. They kept at it and finally solved the puzzle, and here we are with just a masterpiece.
And Kawhi is the MVP, the guy they brought in that made the big difference. Steve in Calgary, you're on the wrap. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
Wow, I remember 95 sitting in the Shoppers Drug Mart seats of the Skydome for, I think there were $5. And, I had a ticket for Game 3 of the first time the Raps made to the conference final against the Cavaliers, but had a blood infection, couldn't go. And so to me, this is all just vindication of a lot of hard times. See the good times, the bad times, but this is really special. It's been a wild night here in Calgary too. The bar I was at was to capacity, and the place went berserk.
That's great to hear, Steve. And, people really need to be reminded how much cities like Calgary love the Raptors. I guess, the playoff run was great out west as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've been going to the bar every night. Not like I'm alcoholic, but we go to the bars and watch the games just to be part of the crowd. I wasn't downtown, but I've heard that the Red Mile lit itself up again tonight, and there's people on the streets of downtown Calgary. So, it's special for, I know everyone's harped on the city, the province, and the country, and I really don't think people can really grasp what it's meant to the country as a whole.
Steve, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. And you're helping us grasp what it means to the country as a whole. We've had several callers from Calgary and out west, and international calls as well. And we're going to continue to take calls right till 5:30. I'm Roger Lajoie, 416-870-0590 and the 416-188-666-0590. That's toll free from anywhere. Want to hear from you? Star 590 is on the cell. That's also a toll-free call. You can text 590-590. We'll read the text later in the show. We'll have some locker room reaction from some of the principals later, but not until we're done with the calls, and we'll continue to take calls. Love to hear from you. Let's get one more in before we take a break here. Frank in Toronto, you're up next. Go ahead, Frank.
How are you guys? Kudos to you guys for representing and staying up late with us and giving us history and just listening to us, man. It's just fantastic. I was down, I was going to watch the game on TV. I said, you know what? I'm going to drive down there. You can't really, you get stuck down there. Each time they won, you're just stuck down there. But it's so beautiful at the same time, just seeing the people, the excitement, the hype. It's just fantastic. And especially in the time of this last year, of all we've been going through, it's just, this is a big boost. It's huge. I mean, I don't know how to any other way to explain it. It's just like, wow, Toronto. And like you said earlier, to get to the first round, second round, the third round, like a team like Toronto, from all these years of fighting just to get first round to the second round, it's just unheard of. But I mean, and of all the good teams that the States has, it's just like, wow, Canada, Toronto Raptors, the lonely team. Other than when we had the Grizzlies from Vancouver, it's just like, wow. monumental. And I mean, you could call them Raptorious now. It's my name for them, the nickname Raptorious Raptors.
There you go, Frank. Thank you. That's a good one. I'm thinking of our old caller, Raptorized John, when you say that too, who smiling down on us, I'm sure, tonight with a big grin as this one goes to. We've talked about it all night, Josh, but there is no question that the emotional attachment to the city is the big thing. And none of them are from Toronto, but they all wear Toronto on the front of the jersey.
Seems like everyone, in the most, probably like 5 to 7 years, even longer, you talk to guys who've come through Toronto, played in Toronto. Maybe it exceeds their expectations in terms of an NBA city to live in, to play in. And now with the team becoming competitive, I think guys now truly understand everything that Toronto has to offer, not just as a city, but as a real basketball hotbed where you can go and have a successful, long, prosperous career with a fan base that will support you. Yeah, not necessarily always through thick and thin. Like if guys don't play well, they'll hear about it, and that's true for all fans. But if you lay it out there on the line, play your butt off every night, play hard, win some ball games, this fan base is going to appreciate that. And there are a lot of guys. You had a lot of lunch pail guys on this team. Superstars like Kawhi Leonard, superstar, lunch pail guy. Brings it every single day. Never have to worry what you're going to get from Kyle Lowry, Siakam, Green, Gasol, lots of guys like that. And it endears you to a fan base when you just kind of grind it out every single day, even if you might not have your best on that night.
Phone calls continue. 1-888-666-0590, 416-870-0590, star 590 on your cell. Been a long night for you. You on your way?
I think I'm on my way, yeah.
Josh, great job tonight. Fun to be with you. And after all those shows we had to do about what ifs.
Yeah.
Here's the if. They won the championship.
Raptors are NBA champions. And Raj, it was a pleasure to get to do some of this with you.
Oh, my pleasure, Josh. Thank you. It's Josh Goldberg. I'm sticking around. Your calls are still coming. 1-888-666-0590. So that's Jim, JP, Jason, the rest of you. Hold on. We'll continue to take your calls. We'll get more not live reaction, but reaction from the Raptors locker room. And we're here until 5:30 on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. We're also on Sportsnet's YouTube channel. So keep watching, keep listening, and keep calling. Phone line still open. I'm Roger Lajoie. This is The Wrap on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Some things just aren't a real deal.
And you'll just love this apartment. There are no windows, so you don't have to worry about nosy neighbors. But you can still enjoy their bagpipes all day and night. It's really something. Keeps most of the mice away.
That's not a real deal, but Scarborough Nissan is, and so is this.
During Nissan Factory Approved Days, lease a 2019 Murano from 1.9% for 39 months. See ScarboroughNissan.com.
Get the real deal at Scarborough Nissan.
Here's to a season we'll never forget. The Toronto Raptors didn't just get over the hump. They soared over it.
Lowry to
rising to new heights. Raptors fans across the entire country got to ride just as high. Thanks to Pascal.
Siakam with 22.
Green wide open, triple busted.
Serge Ibaka with the execution.
Mark.
Gasol with a slam dunk.
Norm.
Howe with the bucket.
Fred.
Van Vliet has the Raptors leading now by 15.
Thanks to Kyle.
Lowry to put it away.
Thanks to Kawhi. Thanks to Masai and Bobby and to Nick. The Toronto Raptors are NBA champions.
Franchise history, league history. The Toronto Raptors are NBA champions. A city, a province, a country celebrates. The NBA championship is due north.
We the North. We the champions.
Here's to Toronto. To the cities that make us greater. To the people. To the places. To the new faces. Here's to Vaughan. To a city designed to move you. Here's to 905's most exciting new community. To perfect cappuccino and meals that never end. Here's to modern living at Mobilio. Here's to the many that never accept second best. Menkes.
The Hydro Pool Factory Direct Hot Tub and Swim Spa liquidation is on at the Hansa House in Mississauga. Save up to $6,000 on hot tubs, $9,000 on swim spas. Over $2 million of overstocked inventory must go. Register online at buyatub.com for an additional $500 discount. The Hydro Pool Factory Direct Hot Tub and Swim Spa liquidation is on at the Hansa House in Mississauga. 4 lights north of the 401 on Highway 10. Today till Sunday only. Visit buyatub.com.
Your Toronto Raptors are the 2019 NBA champions. Congratulations from Sportsnet 590, The Fan. You're listening to The Wrap. Sportsnet 590, The Fan's Raptors postgame show.
On the far wing, it's Skull. Now back out near the logo to Lowry. Lowry guarded by Curry. Dribble drive, stops on a dime, pulls up on Curry. Busted! North side triple. Kyle Lowry has 11 points in the opening 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
Eric Smith with the call. Yeah, so many factors, so many different things in this game. Lowry's start was ridiculous, had all the points early. Fred VanVleet, oh my goodness, ice in his veins, those big threes. Kawhi Leonard continuing excellence. Deeper bench, put it all together. Raptors are NBA champs. That wasn't me, by the way. That was an echo. That was a sound effect Josh Santos put in. He's off, by the way. Maria St. Aubin is behind the glass taking classes. They're working all night, and so am I, because I'm here until 5:30, and we keep the party going with the starting lineup at 5:30. Your phone calls. That's what I want. We've got lots of reaction from the locker room. I'd rather talk to you. This is what radio is all about. You're wired up. You had some fun tonight. Let's hear what you thought about this. Your feelings, please. You can also text the show at 590-590. Reach me on Twitter at TheRaj590, at TheRaj590. Delighted to be with you. And people have been waiting to get on the line, so we will get to you. And again, 1-888-666-0590, star 590 on the cell, 416-870-0590. Hi to everybody watching on Sportsnet's YouTube channel as well. Hey, give us a call, and we'll talk to you as well right up until 5:30. Back we go. Jason in Brampton, thanks for holding. Jason, you're on the Wrap. What do you think, pal?
Hey, buddy, thanks for taking my call. I can't believe Raptors did it. Been a fan long time. I was pretty young with the Carter days, and T-Mac, but then I grew up on Bosch, Bargnani, DeRozan, all these guys that gave it all for the Raps, and it did work out, and we were disappointed at times, and we thought, are we ever gonna get one? Just one, just to solidify our team. And we were always a joke to the counterparts, the U.S. teams. They all thought that, we're the outsiders, and we're never gonna get over that hump. But coming from a long time fan, it's just I can't believe it. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to go downtown, but looking at the pictures and videos, it's crazy. I do have one question for you, though, but what do you think? I was kind of salty about, a lot of bandwagoners that never really grew up with the team like I did. And I was just like, where were you during the dark ages, and now that we're champions, everyone wanted to support us, and that's great. But I kind of had that thing in the back of my head, which was you weren't there in the beginning. You didn't see how it all came together. You were just there for the good days and the good parts.
Yeah, fair enough, Jason. Thanks for the call. Listen, I guess you're a longtime fan. Maybe you get annoyed by the bandwagon jumping crowd, and people don't really get it. But here's the thing. I made similarities earlier on the show between this Raptor team and the Jays winning in 92-93. And same kind of thing, although I think baseball was pretty established in the country. But All of a sudden, when the Blue Jays got really, really good, all of a sudden, everybody's into baseball. But they stayed. They stayed, Jason. They became fans. And I think that's the offshoot of this. And regardless, whether people are new to this party or not, as a longtime fan, you don't take any of your own enjoyment away by the fact that so many more people are in on the party. You know what? It's great. It grows the game in the country. It's wonderful. More people that celebrate, the better. Yeah, where they just jumped in because of this. A lot of these folks are going to stay longtime fans as a result of this. And the more people cheering for the team is better for the organization. And the bigger and higher profile basketball gets in Toronto, the more likely this party keeps going. So, Jason, congratulations for being a longtime fan. And don't worry about any of the bandwagon jumpers. They're having a good time, too, and life's short. Everybody can enjoy this one, and you enjoy it. 1-888-660-590, 416-870-0590, star 590 on your cell. Great to see all these callers tonight. Fabulous. Jim in Etobicoke. What do you think, Jim?
Well, good evening. Just like, I'm sounding okay on your radio?
You sound perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was a kid watching the Leafs in the 60s, and St. Louis, some overtime that they didn't win, and St. Louis got it this year, amazing. But I remember watching Leafs lose against Washington, getting home to see 93, the Blue Jays lose against, I think, Kansas City when they were up for the division championships. But tonight, I can't cope with the back and forth. But my wife got up at 10 o'clock, and then she watched the game, and she was calling the scores out. And I didn't realize my wife loved basketball. She was enthusiastic. She'd say, get it in, and she'd say 54-57. She started watching about 5 minutes left of the second. They went to what she called halftime. She watched the whole game. I wasn't really a basketball fan. Kanoy Leonard got his 8-bounce drop in the basket to finish a game, and I actually watched a game of basketball the game after. Been following it by you guys on the radio, the morning show, and a 5-minute recap on YouTube, but I couldn't have coped watching it go back and forth. 3 behind, 3 ahead. 3 behind, 3 ahead. Because as a Toronto fan, I've been disappointed so many times. But all the teams are great, but the basketball players actually get out there sometimes and do something for the community. Like a gentleman tonight, I don't know the name, I'm sorry, I'm not the Rabbit Ports fan. He absolutely tore apart his knee, and they showed him leaving on crutches. But he came back to take what I think is called a free shot. I'm such a newbie, I don't even know what the shot clock is, okay?
All right, Jim, thanks for the call. We got a lot of callers. I don't want to cut you off. We got a lot of callers, but thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, listen, whether you understand the game of basketball, whether you like it, whether it's your first favorite sport or a sport you don't watch, or in your case, you watch it through your wife calling the action for you. End of the day, it's more than that. It's about a city winning a championship. And you just said you were a frustrated fan and you'd been disappointed so many times. How many Toronto sports fans have called us tonight and talked about disappointment after this happened and then that happened, and then they lost to Kansas City, and remember the ball bounced off and Sundberg hit the ball and the Jays lost, and oh my goodness, and then the Leafs always break my heart, and Gilmore was here over and over and over again until tonight. Everything goes right. So you don't need to know a lot about basketball to understand how important this is to Toronto sports fans, and we can even take the sports fans off how important it is to Toronto. And as Eric Smith said so great in his final call, which is going to live a long time, by the way, the city, the province, and the country, and internationally, judging by our calls too. Thank you. JP in Hamilton. Go ahead, JP.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to say that I'm really proud of the Toronto media for what they've done with the Toronto Raptors. Congrats to all you guys. And my second point is, What do you think the legacy is with Toronto? Are we going to be able to get more free agents coming to this city based on the fact that we've won a championship now?
JP, thanks for the call. That's an excellent question. First, in terms of the media, we cover sports. We're pretty lucky. We don't have to be thanked to, talk about the Raptors or the Leafs or any other sport. Will this change the legacy, the narrative of the Raptors? I guess, JP, I'll phrase it this way. I think that legacy has already started to change. I think that was in effect kind of before tonight. Now, will Toronto ever be a number one destination in the NBA the way, the Lakers are, or maybe the Celtics, and, will it always have the cloud of, well, hockey's bigger than basketball or whatever the case may be? Well, we can't answer a legacy question tonight. We have to wait. That's the whole nature of the legacy question. But does it help? Oh, bloody well, right, it does. They win a championship. The city is, and I really do believe, too, just the appearance in the NBA Finals does a unbelievable amount of goodwill for a city, and not just with fans and media, but with prospective players. What do you want if you're a basketball player? And I'll say this, and I know I'm not going to venture into Kawhi and where he plays next year, because to me, it's a conversation for another day. What do you want if you're a player? You want max money. You want a chance to win. You want stable ownership. You want a decent city to live in, even if it's just for the season. You want a great fan base. Tick, 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 tick. So free agents don't like it. I think that's their problem. And the Raptors over the years have been able to attract and had great players, just keeping them long term. But DeRozan and Lowry both fell in love with the city, both wanted to be here long term, great players. We'll see what happens with Kawhi. But does the legacy change, to answer your question, as a result of this? It sure can't hurt, JP. It sure can't hurt. And this is a great city to play in. And I think more and more basketball players have had their eyes open to that thanks to this great championship. I still can't believe they're the champs. This is the champs of the NBA. They beat the Golden State Warriors. 1-888-660-590, 416-870-0590, star 590. Roger Lajoie. I'm on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. We are on the YouTube, the Sportsnet YouTube channel. So hi to everybody watching there. Stick with us. We're here till 5:30, and we've got the starting lineup. Our morning show is going to be all over this. We'll have more reports, more locker room reaction. We haven't done any locker room reaction. All we've done is take calls because they're still coming. So I'm going right back to the phones. Josh, you're in Jerusalem?
I am. How you doing, Roger?
I am doing great, and thank you for calling, sir.
It's a night of champions, truly. I'm a sports journalist here in Israel over the last 15 years or so. This past night, Maccabi Tel Aviv won the 53rd Israeli League Championship. And we got home, got to watch with my three boys the Toronto Raptors lifting up the Larry O'Brien Trophy. It was quite the moment. You from Montreal also, there was exhibition games back in the 80s. I remember going one with my father, 76ers and the Bullets, Barkley, Bernard King. Then we went in Miami to see the Heat. We got to see their third franchise victory over the San Antonio Spurs. I think it was the next year or so. I lived in New York for many years. Knicks season ticket, suffered through all the Bulls games, Houston Rockets. Moved to Israel 2004. Went back for a net 76ers game with my son. He fell in love with about 500 people in the cavernous arena they had there in New Jersey in the Meadowlands. If you remember those days.
Yeah.
And I was back in Toronto this summer, a few weeks after the trade. I said, boy, what a great trade. And you remember the controversy. People were like, DeMar DeRozan, how can they get rid of this guy? And I was like saying, listen, if you have a chance to get Kawhi Leonard, this guy is amazing. And I had the privilege of sitting with his trainer when he was, before even university. His name was Clint Parks. He was coaching a couple of the Maccabi games back in 2017. He was here in Israel. Clint Parks, you can look him up on Twitter. You can see all kinds of pictures with him and Kawhi. He trained him throughout his high school into college years. And, boy, special people, special person. I was able to see Kawhi work his magic with my mother in October. Took a trip to Toronto just to see them play at Minnesota, actually. And Butler was still with the Timberwolves. And what a night that was. And, to be able to listen to you guys all year long here in Israel over the internet, it's amazing how much smaller the world has become. And, again, as a Montrealer, and listen, I do not like the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'll put that right out there. I do not like the Toronto Blue Jays. But I can call the Raptors my own because really it's not just Toronto's team, it's Canada's team. And being a Montrealer from birth, it's one of the greatest things that you could ever experience is NBA action. From Magic and Bird and Jordan when I was growing up to now to see Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam was an amazing future ahead of him. Kyle Lowry, you got to love him, got to feel good for the guy. It's just an amazing team, and you got to give credit to Nick Nurse. He was able to take Kawhi under his wing, and you hear Roger how he talks to Kawhi, and how Kawhi talks about Nick Nurse after the post game. He loves him, and I think that may be a huge selling point. Keeping him if they can, great. If they can't, you know what? He brought a championship. The trade was worth everything, and remember, you're going to have a healthy OG next year also.
Hey, a lot of people forgot about OG. Josh, you said so many things there. That is such a great call, and really appreciate you hearing from you, and that you're listening to us, and you're right, and thank you so much, and best wishes to you and your family. The world is a lot smaller now, and amazing how easy it is for us to still reconnect. And my goodness, all the basketball you've seen. Congratulations for the Israeli championship tonight that you witnessed there as well, and wow, what a night for you. Thanks so much for that. We have had folks here, for those of you just joining us on Sportsnet 590 The Fan or on our Sportsnet YouTube channel, we have had calls from all kinds of international calls tonight. Just great. Once again, showing you the power of radio and how the world is small online now. So great to have you on. Not that far away. It's in Canada, but we got a caller from Edmonton now. Stanley, you go right ahead. What do you think tonight?
I can't be telling you how excited I am just to even be heard on your show. But I just want to say that nothing like this has ever happened since the Blue Jays. And I remember when my mom brought me to the Blue Jays, I never thought that baseball was a viable sport. But I watched the Blue Jays after that win 2 championships in a row, and then basketball came here, and everybody thought the same thing about basketball. What did you think about basketball at that time?
There were doubters, Stanley, and you know what? I thought the NBA was going to work. I thought the challenge would be with the Raptors, the Leafs, and the Jays at that time. Would there be enough corporate support for all three? Well, there was no doubt about that. And now I'm suggesting to you the Raptors and the NBA's popularity. We'll see where it goes from here. But my goodness, Stanley, this is a basketball city now too.
Absolutely. And when you look at Canada as a sports city and country, when you say, okay, we had an NBA franchise in Vancouver and Toronto. One folded, one did not. When you look at the NBA franchises in baseball, we had the Expos and we had the Blue Jays. One folded, one did not. It's not saying that one was more deserved than the other, but one seemed to just be more resilient. And when you look at the resiliency, it just, when you watch what happened tonight, it really pays off in a way that we just never seen before in basketball, considering we invented the sport and it's come back home.
Stanley, thanks very much. Appreciate the call. And again, Edmonton, Calgary, we've had a lot of callers out west tonight saying the same thing. It is a victory for the country. And even though the players aren't from Toronto, the Toronto Raptors, the Toronto Blue Jays have that in common without question. They represent the entire country. And it's great to hear from all of you. We can still take your calls. We've got time. 1-888-660-590, 416-870-0590, star 590 on your cell. Text us. 590-590 is a text. 590-590. If you're texting, please make sure you leave your name and your location. I'll get to your texts as well before I leave you at 5:30. Starting lineup comes up at 5:30 as always. And They'll be all over this, and we'll be all over it all day. Plenty of locker room reaction to come as well, and we'll continue to take your calls. Michael is in North York. Michael, you're on the Wrap. Go right ahead.
Hey, I'm a little bit closer to Edmonton, but I'm still here. Happy that we've won the title. And what you said before about how it feels a little bit unreal, it really does feel a little bit unreal, because in basketball, it's just really hard to win titles. It's usually the teams that have multiple Hall of Fame players, much like the Warriors have had, much like the LeBron teams have had, much like the Jordan teams have had, much like the Lakers teams have had. We've seen before. This is not that type of team, though. It's much on our GM, who's compiled a team full of guys who haven't come from high draft slots. They haven't come from high pedigree. We've got a guy as our number one player who, to be honest, there's a lot of teams that could have had him. Maybe if Boston had upped their offer a little bit more than what we were offering, they could have had him instead of us. But we got him, and tonight we're champs. And moving forward, we're still champs. And at this point, if Kawhi just wants to do one more year, as a city, as a country, I think we'd all rather have him for one more year than try to force him to take that long-term deal. Because even if we sign him for one more year, you look at our team, there's Lowry, who only has one more year on his deal. Gasol has one more year. Ibaka has one more year. So if we run it back for next year and we have the same team, we'll see what comes from that. And if it doesn't work out next year, we can always say that, hey, we were the team that stopped the Golden State Warriors dynasty.
Michael,
thank you, Raj. Have a good day.
And thank you. Have a great day as well. He said a lot there. There's no doubt. I drew the analogy comparisons earlier to the Blue Jays winning in 92-93 and to the Raptors winning tonight. Just said again, the Raptors won the NBA title tonight. No big whoop. What happened today? Raps won the NBA title. Yeah. What's for breakfast in the cafeteria? They got any specials on today? I guess the Pistons in 2005, because of all the things you just said there, usually it's a team with a superstar. And that's right. Josh and I were talking earlier, and our little Larry O'Brien miniature replica trophy we've got in here tonight is from the 2005 series. And that Pistons team, I mean, they had, Rasheed Wallace was great. Ben Wallace was a fabulous rebounder. Chauncey Billups was on that team. They had a really, obviously, they're a really good team. But the Lakers had Kobe and Shaq and the mailman, Karl Malone, and the Pistons ran them off the court 3 straight games. That's probably the only kind of analogy of this Raptor team, because you're right. Who wins titles? Jordan, LeBron, Kawhi. 1-1 in San Antonio, beat LeBron James. Had some pretty good players around him in San Antonio. But your point is, generally, that's not the kind of team that does it. Kawhi's future is a topic for another day. Who knows what he's going to do, but you said it best. Masai Ujiri did the same thing Alex Anthopoulos did in 2015-16. He dared to be great. Anthopoulos brought in Price, Tulowitzki, made all the big moves. They didn't win the championship, but he put the cards in the middle of the table and said, let's go for it. Ujiri did the same thing. Didn't bankrupt them, made those deals without OG, having to give up OG or Siakam. So they're still well positioned. I'm a betting man. I think Kawhi takes a short-term deal. And I'd sign that in a heartbeat. But again, topic for another day. Enjoy the championship tonight. 1-888-660-590, 416-870-0590, star 590 on the cell. Calls keep coming, so I got to get right back to him. Tom in Toronto, you're next. How you feeling this morning, Tom?
I'm feeling great. How you doing?
Great, thank you.
I'm just really glad that hopefully this kind of ends the era of negativity in Toronto sports for a while. It's been such a kind of a brutal attitude that people have. We've had a lot of good teams and a lot of great guys. Even DeMar DeRozan is just a great guy. And there's kind of like a spoiled attitude here that even when we do well, those Jays years, the last few Raptors years, everybody has this attitude of kind of like, well, of course they didn't win, And I just hope this kind of settles everybody for a bit. Even the Leafs are good now, and just because they don't win a championship, only one team wins a championship every year.
Tom, thank you. You're right. Some good points. To expect, I'll use that word, that negativity and people who are generally negative by nature, which unfortunately in this world is very easy to do because we're all, prone to negativity just with the media and messaging we get. I think a championship will do a lot of good for that. I understand the frustration of some fans. And you are right, though. The Raptors have been quite good for quite a few number of years. Only LeBron stopped them from getting to the final before tonight. The Blue Jays did have those two great runs in 15-16, came up very close. The Leafs have been much better and are getting much better and still feel to be much better. But there haven't been many championships, and it's the first one in the major sports in 26 years tonight. So pretty hard to be negative about that. But some people are just prone to the negativity. I think this is fantastic for Toronto. I think it's great for the Raptors, and I think it's also may get everybody being more positive. And we'll see the offshoot. The sports don't have anything to do with each other, but quite often you see one team break through in one league that has multiple franchises in the other sports, and all of a sudden the other team says, hey, that seemed like a lot of fun. Leafs still have some work to do, though. Suzette in Toronto, you're on the Wrap. Go ahead, Suzette.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm downtown right now, and I just want to say there's two things that you brought up. The first thing is the Larry O'Brien Trophy was here in Toronto a couple months back, and I was able to go down and, take a picture beside it because we couldn't touch it. But that's when I knew it's going to stay here. It's going to come back here to Toronto. The next thing was about the Detroit Pistons. When Toronto won tonight, I was like shaking. And you know what? The first thing I thought about after I gathered my thoughts was about the Detroit Pistons, how it was just a team of togetherness, a team of players who just wanted one thing and they went after it. And that's like Toronto, there's, of course, Kawhi, the superstar, but beyond that, we have like togetherness. We have players who wanted something. So those are two great points that you brought up. Now, I do have one more thing to add to this. I have a song. I made a Kawhi song.
Yes, a song.
Yeah. There's no swearing. Unfortunately, I have to work every night that the game is on during the week. I work nights, so but they had it live stream at work and everything, and the streaming went down in 4 minutes, but it came back up for me to see the ending of the game and stuff. All right, here's my song.
Okay.
Kawhi me over the ocean, Kawhi me over the sea, Kawhi me the NBA championship. In Toronto it will be Kawhi, 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 bring the championship to T.O.O. Kawhi, 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 bring the championship to the North. We the North. We love you, Kawhi.
Way to go, Suzette. Thank you. Loved it. Good for you. Oh, man, you got to love this fan base or what? Thank you, Suzette. That was great. Kawhi. Is he going to resign? I'm not going there. 1-888-666-0590, 416-870-0590, star 590. 590 is the text. 590 is the text. And tons of texts. We'll get to those a little bit later. But we still got some phone calls, and we want to get them all on. I'm here until 5:30. The starting lineup is coming up on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, as always, and they'll continue to talk about the Raptors right through the day, and that's what we do here, as we've done for 27 years. So glad you're with us. 4:30 a.m. Eastern. We still got callers coming in from across the country, and this one is in St. John's, and it's Jason. Jason, go ahead.
Roger, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great.
Excellent. Great show today.
Thank you.
Absolutely, I got to say right now is that the Raptors really stepped up in this series. Everyone's really expecting Kawhi to kind of just carry us through it, but I believe that a lot of our support players, especially Lowry, Siakam, all these guys really showed up during this series. I understand Kawhi won the MVP, but absolutely, hands down, the guys showed up, and I believe that They were tired of hearing about how Kawhi was kind of carrying them through the playoffs, and every guy showed up, especially Lowry, after that incident that happened last time in Golden State. That just put a fire under his bum, and he took it down tonight with those points in that first quarter. Apparently, wasn't it a record, I believe, in the first, he scored 11 points in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, the way he started, I don't know if it was a record in terms of timing, but yeah, 11 points to start the game was incredible, no question. Yep.
Absolutely. I'm so happy that our guys stepped up. Just ecstatic right now. George Street was going bananas tonight. We were all at Jack Astor's just going crazy. You know what I mean? East Coast is just going bananas right now. We're still up, of course. That's why I'm calling you right now. But love your show. I'm originally from Toronto. I just moved out here in January, but I still listen to you guys every single day. It keeps my day going, and keep it up, boys. All right.
You're fabulous. Thanks so much, Jason. And St. John's, Newfoundland, wonderful place, and great to hear that the fans up there are embracing the team. Over and over, we've heard that throughout the course of the night from people throughout the country who have been so delighted with the Raptors, want to call in. So wherever you are, give us a shout. 1-888-666-0590, 416-870-0590. Star 590 on your cell. We've been taking calls right through since this game ended. We'll continue to take calls until 5:30. We'll get some locker room reaction. We'll also read your text. 590. Got a bunch of text. Maybe I'll get one or two in here, and then we'll get right back to the phones right away because I want to give the callers the priority. James says, keep up the good work, guys. I got the radio under the pillow. We'll be listening until I fall asleep. Well, James, hope you're still up. Gee, I shouldn't have yelled, though, if the radio's next to you on the pillow, but thank you. Doug from Toronto says, I'm so happy I'm not winning Game 7 tickets from the Fan. Memories of listening to the Fan after the Blue Jays World Series win. We are the champs. Well said, sir. Michael in Scarborough says, the Raptors and the Warriors both played great. Toronto played its greatest year since its inception. No doubt about that. Says the Raptors didn't just win, all of Canada won. What an impressive turnaround at the end. Michael, thank you. Great game, too, eh? I mean, let's give credit where credit's due here. Great game, great series. And the Golden State Warriors, I have to tell you, have my full admiration for what they have accomplished. Going to the NBA championship 5 years in a row, battling through the injuries. They are Warriors. And a Raptor championship is going to feel great regardless, but beating a generational team and ending their dynasty, if you want to call it a dynasty, 3 titles in 5 years, pretty amazing run in this day and age, makes it that much sweeter. So full credit to them. Leslie in Scarborough says, we did it. Congratulations to our Raptors. Woohoo. What a night. Makes me remember my dad and mom while they were still alive. Awesome memories. I'm looking forward to celebrating with my fellow Torontonians. Leslie, thank you very much. And Chris in Winnipeg says, been a fan since day one. Could not be happier for Kyle Lowry. Thank you. And Terrence and Kyle Lowry is the franchise now. I mean, you talk about the DeRozan trade and what he meant to the city and everything else. Kyle Lowry, you call it redemption, whatever you want. Wow. He was outstanding tonight. Terrence in Vancouver, BC says, congrats to the Raptors in Canada. Shout out to the folks who watched them for 24 years and never gave up on them. I hope the journey that the Raptors have been through will inspire people to keep chasing their dream, no matter how long it takes. Well said, sir. 590 is a text. We'll read the text up until 5:30. Got some time for those, but we got to get back to the calls. We've got more. Matthew is in Vaughan. Matthew, go ahead.
Hey, Roger. How's it going, man? How are you?
I am great, Matthew. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to say that I'm actually a first-time caller here. I called right now because I'm actually on my way back home from the square. I had a great time tonight. I'm so proud of our team. The Raptors, first time in
24 years.
4 years, right?
Yep.
That we won the NBA title. I just want to sing you a song as well.
We got another singer.
Yes.
Okay, well, keep it clean. We had to make that. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to give you an introduction.
Yeah.
I'll give you an introduction.
Okay.
All right. And now with his latest Raptors tune, let's welcome Matthew in Vaughan.
It's actually a cover song by Queen, and it's called We Are the Champions. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We are the champions. my friends. We'll keep on trying. Oh, I lost my voice tonight, so I can't really sing. But
okay, Matthew.
Anyways, Roger, yeah, I just want to say I still cannot believe that the Raptors are NBA champions, and I just want to say, go Raptors, go! And I can't wait for that parade on Monday. Let's go!
Atta boy, Matthew. It's Monday. Hey, come on. Let's. Matthew couldn't do it, but we're not going to worry about our license. We can play a snippet of a song. Here we go. Oh, sorry. My throat's a little sore. I was yelling a lot tonight. Okay, thanks, Queen. We don't want to get in trouble. We played the whole song. We might get in trouble. Well, we'll blame you. Josh Santos did that, everybody. Technical director. Josh Santos.
I'm a fun guy.
Santos. Josh, first name. Responsible for that. Good job. John in Toronto. Go, John.
Hey, Roger. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic.
Awesome. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to thank you guys for your awesome coverage. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch the game. Just trying to keep it safe. Driving a truck tonight. Got up 2 o'clock first thing before I could even, function. I got one eye open and got the Google open to see that the Raptors had won, and that was fantastic news. And just want to share 3 quick things with you. The first was a thank you for your coverage, because I've been driving a lot and been able to listen to a lot of the games on the radio. But the second thing, I think Alan mentioned earlier, your longtime fan, seeing my wife super excited, Game 4, edge of the couch. She's not a huge sports fan, but getting the whole family into it for me was great. And the last thing is Game 5. Unfortunately, again, I was in the truck, but enjoying the game from the truck and listening in on the radio. And I got to a location. I had to go in and unload. So my daughter, 22, she's at home. She's watching the game on the internet. Put my Bluetooth headset on. I'm driving a forklift, and she's giving me the play-by-play. And
that's great.
Yeah, for me, it's that family time and the enjoyment of everybody having a great time, and so happy for the Raptors and the team for having won tonight.
John, thank you for calling, and good on you for doing your job and staying safe. And I think your daughter giving you play-by-play on the Bluetooth is fantastic. It is a family thing, and we've seen this throughout the night with the calls we've taken, folks, and no surprise of just how important it is, how much it is all the people you were with, the memories you're with, the family that you share it with, your wife on the couch watching, not really a big fan, but now so into it. Winning does that, and they wouldn't be doing it if the front of the jersey didn't say Toronto. Let's get that clear. They might like the game. They might like the series. They might like basketball is pretty cool, but you don't get that emotional or worked up about it unless the home team wins. And for the first time in 24 years, the home team won tonight. I'm Roger Lajoie. We are on Sportsnet's YouTube channel and Sportsnet 590 The Fan until 5:30. Starting lineup takes over then. Still time for your calls. 1-888-666-0590, 416-870-0590, star 590 on the cell. We will also get your text, 590-590. Pardon me, that's 590-590. And we'll read the text, but please put your name and your location, and we will read your text as well right up until 5:30. Back to the phones we go. Renee you're in Hawaii?
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
What part?
Hey, I was.
What part of Hawaii? When I got to ask, because I've been to Maui many times.
Hilo. I live in Hilo. I live in Hilo.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, but I'm from Toronto, and I was there when the Jays won. I was a teenager. I was exciting moments, and now it's Raptors. I mean, I'm celebrating here. My neighbors asked me to shut up. I can't shut up. I'm excited. So,
what time?
Anyway,
What time is it in Hawaii?
Let me check. 10-something.
Okay, I thought it's 6 hours difference here. Yeah. Well, how
10:40. 10:40.
Wow.
10:40 p.m. Yeah, the game began at 3 p.m. my time, and it was exciting. Oh my goodness, it's exciting. I'm excited. I wish I was there. I wish I was there celebrating with my family and friends. But anyway, hey, I'm happy for Toronto. Thank you. Go Raps.
Thank you, Renee, and great to hear from you. Oh, Hawaii. That's a beautiful spot to be. You want to be in Toronto instead of Hawaii. You got to be a big basketball fan. No question. Renee, thank you. 416-870-0590, 1-888-666-0590, star 590 on your cell. I'm Roger Lajoie. We've got more text, a couple more phone calls, and we'll get some locker room reaction before the starting lineup comes in at 5:30. David is in Dublin. David, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Raj. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I promise no singing.
Okay. Well, we got music to drown you out in case you try, so we're good. We're good.
No, I promise not. No, I just wanted to say, I'm sort of 5 hours the other way from Hawaii now, but I had to go to sleep last night, wake up because the game started at like 3 a.m. our time here, and ended about 6. But it was totally worth it staying up. I just wanted to highlight. I thought one of the real special parts for me was when Adam Silver, I have to give credit to Adam Silver when he was doing the presentation. I don't know if anybody's mentioned it, but I thought it was really cool that he acknowledged, that basketball was created by a Canadian. The first NBA game was played in Toronto. I think considering everything that the country as fans are going through regarding south of the border, I thought it was really cool for him to point out how important, Canada is and Toronto is to not just the NBA, but to basketball as a whole. And I thought that was a really cool moment.
David, I'll come back to you, but yes, I agree with that. But, one thing that I really think that people don't understand, not maybe don't understand, but don't appreciate enough, there certainly is a stigma in some people's minds that Toronto is not the big basketball mecca that a lot, because, it's hockey, number one, and what have you. And some people have that. But I can tell you, people, because I know a few of those guys, Mark Fischel does a great job. Their credentials manager. I've known him for a long time. He used to work at the NHL. And I know some other people in the NBA. I don't know Mr. Silver, but I know other people. But I think I'm very confident in saying this. The people who run the NBA love the Toronto Raptors. They love the organization. They love the ownership. And there's this, people seem to think that, well, maybe some of the Americans don't like it when Toronto wins. That could very well be the case in terms of some fans, maybe some media. But the people who run the NBA find Toronto to be an exemplary franchise. And why wouldn't they? And that was true before tonight. But I'm glad you brought that up, but I'm not the least bit surprised.
Yeah, well, you consider as well, I was born in Toronto as well. I've lived here in Ireland about 12 years now, but considering how multicultural our city is as well, and the nation is, they're going to be talking about this at all corners of the world. They're talking about it on the morning shows over here as well in Dublin. So it's going to have far-reaching, and it's a big moment. It's real special just to be tied to it there, for sure.
100%, yeah. And what's your background in basketball, David? Are you
I suppose. Growing up in Toronto and that, I was, for the first games of the moment. I'm a big hockey fan as well. My fantasy hockey league, so big sports fan. It's the one thing that keeps me sort of in touch with home. I listen to the morning show there instead of radio over here in the mornings just to stay in touch with everything because I am separated from it over here. But so I just try and it's one way for me to keep in touch with home and that. So that's where I'm not a basketball player. I'm about 5'7" myself. Never played basketball. Short little fast guy, Yeah,
so but you're a fan. Well, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
No, I am, and yeah.
Great, David. Thank you. We appreciate the call so much. Folks, we have had calls from all over the world here tonight, which is great. Still have a few minutes for your calls. 416-870-0590, 1-888-666-0590, star 590. Text us 590-590. I'll get to your text. You can reach me on Twitter at TheRaj590, at TheRaj590. We'll get some locker room reaction from the podium as well, so you can hear the excitement of the Raptors as they wrap it up and the starting lineups coming up. We'll get one more call in here, Josh, all right, before we take our break. David is in Malta. You talk about a beautiful place in the world. David, go right ahead.
Hey, Raj. This has been awesome, man. I tell you, I've been watching through I've been here for a couple of weeks now. I've been watching through my wife and FaceTime, and it's been amazing having that opportunity. She's not really a Raptors fan or a fan at all, and she's just been there for every basket. I'm glad they won, though, because, it does cut your day a little short when you have to wake up at 3 a.m. or your sleep a little short and have to watch it. But it's the only thing is that's a little regrettable is that I'm not there with the rest of the fans. So I have to go wander around Malta today and see if I find anybody in Raptors jerseys.
might be kind of tough, but you can certainly still enjoy it and appreciate it from where you are. David, thanks so much. That's a great call. Thanks very much. 416-870-0590, 1-888-666-0590, star 590. We'll continue to take your calls. I'm Roger Lajoie here till 5:30. We are on the YouTube, the Sportsnet YouTube channel as well. So hi to everybody watching on YouTube. Give us a shout wherever you are, anywhere in the world, it looks like tonight. And in Toronto, your thoughts on the game. Some of you are still up. Some of you are in a different time zone. Give us a shout. Text us 590-590. We'll read your text, give you your reaction. We'll get some podium sound as well from the Raptors receiving the trophy. What a way to go out here. And the starting lineup comes in at 5:30, and they will keep it going all day. This championship will be talked about a long time. It's still fresh. It's still nice to say, but you're listening to The Wrap, the post-game show of the 2019 NBA champions on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Basketball with Bodog.net is all about making the legendary play when the game is on the line. The chase down block in Game 7 to win it for Cleveland. The ankle-breaking handles from Boston's #1 man. The reverse 360 in the dunk contest from Toronto's best ever. You can make a play on them all. Bodog.net gives you the odds, props, and insider tips so you can make your plays during every basketball game. Bodog.net. Make a play.
It's easy to notice what's wrong. A stone in your shoe, that little dent in your car. Oh, don't get me started. And your basement. Shouldn't that be finished? Are you tired of these commercials? AGMBasement.com. Would you like me to just go away already? Because as soon as we finish your basement, you won't notice me anymore.
AGMBasement.com. Uncle Ivan says, you only notice mistakes, so look carefully and do a perfect job.
AGM.
Oh, Canada! Congratulations! Basketball has come full circle in Canada. It was invented by a Canadian. The first NBA game was in Toronto, and now an NBA championship. Your 2019 NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors.
The best in the NBA.
We wanted to win in Toronto, and we have won in Toronto.
Congratulations to the 2019 Toronto Raptors from Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Cancer connects us all. We all have a story to tell.
I was 13 years old when I first heard the word cancer.
Being diagnosed with colon cancer was an overwhelming shock.
I'm Eric McCormack. Research, including clinical trials, helps to change the story for cancer patients across Canada.
I am now 9 years cancer-free.
Join Stand Up to Cancer Canada and the Canadian Cancer Society to learn more about the groundbreaking research that translates into life-saving treatments. Visit standuptocancer.ca/CCS to learn more.
This Father's Day, show Dad he's #1 and get him what he really wants from 2001. The home entertainment experts. To find Dad the best gift that'll make this a Father's Day to remember, you must go to the experts at 2001 Audio Video during their Father's Day sale. And always with the guaranteed lowest price.
2001 Audio Video 2001.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform for video conferencing, phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms. Connect easily from anywhere, your mobile phone, your laptop, or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
Hi, I'm Rob Riopel, president of Smith & Long, a full-service electrical contractor that's been around since 1930. Smith & Long was the first to successfully merge electrical and computer fields, developing expertise in technical systems. We attract the most challenging projects in the business, which calls for the most talented electrical technicians around. Our workers are all members of IBEW Local 353, which guarantees our clients the best value and quality in the business. Working with IBEW Local 353 ensures that our clients receive excellence at work.
Hanging out after work was great, but I'm exhausted. Just want to go home and crawl into bed. I think I'm good to drive. I've driven this route 1,000,000 times. Research shows people often can't accurately judge their level of impairment after drinking, and they may not be safe to drive.
Hey, Liz, I know you said you feel okay, but
You've had more than a few. Ride with me and we'll get your car tomorrow.
Drunk driving is a woman's issue, too. Learn how to reduce the risk at changetheconversation.ca.
Your Toronto Raptors are the 2019 NBA champions. Congratulations from Sportsnet 590, The Fan. You're listening to The Wrap. Sportsnet 590, The Fan's Raptors postgame show.
Leonard at the line to ice the game and to win the championship. Free throw is up and in. The Raptors by 4. Cousins inbounds the ball. Curry heaves it at the buzzer. It's no good. Franchise history. League history. The Toronto Raptors are NBA champions. A city, a province, a country celebrates. The NBA championship is due north.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger homer in your life. People are going to talk about that call. A great one from Eric Smith, who joined us earlier in the show tonight. I'm Roger Lajoie. This is Sportsnet 590, The Fan. I have been taking your phone call since 2 a.m. and delighted to be taking your calls. We're going to grab another one here. We're going to read the text, and we'll finally get to some podium sound. Nick Nurse and Kawhi Leonard, of course, coach of your NBA champions and the MVP of the NBA Finals, the starting lineup coming in at 5:30. And we'll be talking about this one. Well, we'll be talking about this one forever. It seems like a cliche, but we'll be talking about it forever. And what a night for Toronto sports fans. If you're quick, we'll get your call in, 1-888-666-0590, 416-870-0590, star 590 on your cell. And again, you can text 590. Jack in Milton's been waiting, so Jack, you go right ahead.
Hey, well, all I'm going to say, this is the moment of patriotism. This is the moment of a city, a province, a nation. We have brought our name to the world. This is an amazing moment. I personally was not following a basketball so far. I'm a cricket lover. Back from India originally 25 years ago, I came down here. However, from tonight onwards, I am religiously following basketball. And to be honest with you, it is a moment for pride. I have no words of saying anything now.
Well, you know, Jack, for somebody who has no words, there's great words. You are right. It is a historical moment. It's a time not to forget. And we'll be talking about this one, not just tonight and for the weeks to come, but forever. Thanks for the call. 590. Texter says, Roger, nobody has said, do you think we get to play on Christmas Day? They better have the NBA champions playing Christmas Day. But if they don't, I go back to the same thing when people talk about, well, Americans won't like it or whatever the case may be, is like, who cares? Who cares? But yeah, Christmas Day game with the NBA champs. Maybe a rematch with the Golden State Warriors, eh? Wouldn't that be fun? Nick in Niagara Falls says, I remember sitting with friends watching the first game from Skydome and the excitement of the NBA in Canada, then celebrating the first playoff series win against the Knicks in 2001. And now we've come full circle to tonight. And as I celebrated with my kids, I see how many generations this championship has touched. So amazing, Nick. Very, very well said. Leo in Cambridge says, Roger, still no respect from some idiotic U.S. media. Leo, thank you. Well, maybe, but end of the day, I go back, I stick on my mantra. That's their problem. JK in St. John's, Newfoundland says, love the show. Thank you. Just finished listening to JD and Ben's podcast. Was great. I lived in Toronto for 33 years and just moved here in January. Never stopped listening. You guys do a great job. Keep it up, boys. The Raps are the champs. I can't believe I'm saying that. Woo! Going to try and call in, and I know how crazy downtown St. John's was. Cheers. We did have a caller from St. John's, so hopefully that was you earlier. Autumn in Vancouver says, I never want anything more than I wanted this. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Toronto. Well said. Well said. Frank in Little Britain says, Kawhi is the Bobby Orr of the NBA. Well, he is tonight. There's no question about that. Giovanni in Milton says, I still can't believe how Toronto went 4-0 in the playoffs and the regular season in Golden State. When's the last time that happened? Never. You're right. 4-0 at the Oracle this year. Man, talk about closing it out for them. It's a wrap. Team basketball defense wins championships. Dimitri from Toronto. Dimitri, you're so right. All the difference with the Raptors and Golden State seems to revolve especially around the defensive side of the ball. The Raptors were just a much better defensive team. Much, much better defensive team than Golden State. And they had more depth. And a lot of people might not have thought of that. Let's squeeze in one more, and then we'll go to the podium, Josh, okay? We've got John in Toronto. John, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great, John.
So, just to share my experience today, I was at work, and obviously I didn't get to watch the game, but my supervisor is looking at me refreshing my phone, on Google, watching what the score is every couple of minutes. And then we get to the final few minutes and, looking at the score, I'm like, okay, I got to watch this. I turn on my phone and everyone in my group, they all, huddle around me and I forget who scores and we go up by 2 points and all of a sudden I scream, yeah, and I startle them like, they got scared what happened and just watching the last few moments with everyone in the group and, cheering on the Raptors. It's one of those moments that, you have to live it. Because as a lot of people are saying, we don't know if we're going to get this moment back again. And it's just incredible, watching the Raps win today. One for the history.
John, thanks very much. And yeah, that's a story. Friends of mine were at Game 5 in a bar downtown. And you talk about just, now fortunately, well, actually, I shouldn't say fortunately, the Raptors didn't win, because if they'd won, that would have been even better, perhaps, because the game was in Toronto. But they're watching in a bar, and the TV goes down. The TV goes down. They lose signal in the bar with, I think he told me, 45 seconds left. And people are looking at their phones the same way you guys were, just to try to follow along and figure it out. Everybody's got a great story, but it was an historic night, and without question. And so many of you took the time to call in, and we appreciate it. I'm Roger Lajoie. This is Sportsnet 590 The Fan, Raptors post-game. We've been going all through the night, and we'll go until the bottom of the hour, and now we'll take some time and listen in from the podium. So many of you maybe just getting up or headed to work early and didn't get a chance. They have stuck around, watched the end of the game. Now we'll hear from some of the, principals. And let's start with the coach. Nick Nurse really, I think, of all the Raptors, had more question marks attached to his name than anybody else. I really do at the start of the year. Rookie coach, Kawhi coming in, maybe a difficult team to coach in the minds of a lot of people, but boy, he was one happy and proud coach today as an NBA champion from the podium, or from earlier or late last night. Here's Nick Nurse.
Coach, congratulations. Ryan Leong, Associated Press Broadcasting. There was so much that happened between last year's offseason and where you're sitting at right now at this podium. Can you just talk about what it means to have gone through all that, becoming a first-year head coach, and after all the changes in the offseason, getting Kawhi Leonard, culminating in the city and the first championship for Toronto?
I mean, yeah, it was a heck of a 12 months, and I don't know. I just try to take things as they come. You didn't look too far ahead. Obviously, when we made some additions to the team, we thought we could be good, but we had no idea what the health status was and all those things. And again, you just got to go take the guys you got and go play and manage it the best you can, and then look at the opponents and try to figure out a way to beat them. And it was a great group, though. They really played together. I thought they really fought hard. They were tough-minded. They didn't seem like this was wearing on them at all. 2 months of playoff basketball, they never seemed tired to me mentally. They kept wanting the film sessions. They kept wanting to walk through things. They kept wanting to keep learning and improving, and I think that was a big key because we had to do that in the playoff run because we really hadn't had all that much time together.
Steve on the right side, on the fourth row.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Nick, every Eastern Conference team that began the season aspiring to get to the finals knew there was a good chance that they would run into the Golden State Warriors. How much does it add to what you guys have accomplished that you beat a team that will be considered one of the greatest in league history?
Well, I mean, first of all, you're right. I think you thought get through the East, and the chances were you were going to be playing Golden State. I mean, I probably stayed up late and watched Golden State more than anybody, just for the heck of it, right? Just to see what they were doing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It means a lot for our city and the country, and for these players, staff. An incredible group of people, my assistant coaches and the support staff. And I don't know if it would have meant any more or any less, to be honest with you. You get the win, and you're just happy you got it, and celebrate that fact.
As you saw the attrition in their team, the injuries, and the fact that they were still in it right up to Steph's shot at the end. I mean, does it add to the respect that people in the league would have for a team like that?
100%. That was hard on them, right? I think they had a rough year injury-wise. And they kept playing. They got through some playoff rounds, and guys in and out, and obviously a lot of things, a lot of bad breaks in the finals, to be honest. And like us, they kept on playing. We just had to keep on playing no matter who was out there, and I think they were super intense, high-level games, and both teams desperately trying to win. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Kerr and his staff and their players, for sure.
Tim, last row in the back.
Nick, Tim Reynolds with the AP. Congratulations, of course. I know you are your least favorite topic, so I'm probably going to regret asking this question, but what do you think your story says as far as a guy who played mid-major, a guy who had to go to Britain, a guy that had to win a couple titles in the G League before you got that phone call to come talk about offense, and the story you were telling earlier, yesterday or today or something, they all blend in now. What do you think your story is going to mean to the coach who doesn't think he's ever going to get the shot?
Well, I would hope it inspires some people that are in those situations to keep working. I always say that all those jobs meant the world to me at the time, right? Winning with Birmingham in '96, or winning with Rio Grande Valley, whatever year that was, and those games and jobs meant the world to me, and I loved all those jobs. And I think you can't do very good work if you don't love what you're doing. And I don't know, and I never really got discouraged. I didn't really care at the level I was coaching at. I was just trying to learn and get better. That's it.
It all starts somewhere, and Nick Nurse's road to the NBA was a long one, arduous at times. But if you treat the league you're in, wherever it is and whatever stage you're at, like it's the majors, when you get to the majors, it's not as tough as you think. You're better prepared. And Nick Nurse learned a lot of lessons along the way, and boy, did he answer his critics big time as the Raptors lead. He leads the Raptors to an NBA championship. This is the podium sound we're listening to now. It's Roger Lajoie. It is the wrapping up the 2019 NBA champion Toronto Raptors. Still sounds so great. Kawhi Leonard was the MVP of this series, and he has been the MVP of the Raptors. And thanks to Masai Ujiri, he came here in a deal that made this possible. Period. Case closed. The MVP of the NBA Finals, Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi, Paul Antunes, ESPN Brazil. Congratulations. I'm just wondering, when you first got traded to Toronto, what went through your mind? Was it one of your preferred destinations? And how did your feelings evolve or change during this run, and how do you feel now?
I mean, we all know where my destinations were. But obviously, like I said, when I was there on my opening day meeting, that, I was focused on the now. And, I wanted to make history here. And that's all I did. I just, I'm still playing basketball no matter what jersey I have on. And the guys here been, making runs in the playoffs before I came. So I know they were a talented team. And, I just came in with the right mindset. Let's go out and win ball games. I text Kyle probably a day later or the day that I got traded and told him, let's go out and do something special. I know your best friend left. I know you're mad. But, let's make this thing work out. And we're here today.
Mark here in the third row.
Kawhi, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Wondering what went through your mind when Steph Curry had that look, and whether you thought that the game could be in their hands at that moment, and also your thoughts on when Klay Thompson went down with that injury.
Well, first, I'll start with Klay. I hope he's okay. I never want to see, a good friend of mine go out like that. I hope he's able to, recover from it, or, nothing's serious. And I just, when he went down, I just really thought about him. I didn't care about the game that much. And, once he left, we got to flip our mindset back to, like, trying to beat the Warriors. So that's what I did. And with the shot with Steph, it didn't look like it was a good shot. I mean, he hits those shots, but I wasn't too worried about it at that moment. Obviously, he can make that. He made it millions of times, but I just was focused on the rebound. I've been in situations like that in the finals that I lost up 2 or 3 points, and we lost that game because of rebounds. I forgot who shot the ball. I mean, you guys know the story. It was the last 2 possessions for Miami. They got 2 chances to shoot threes. Well, 4 chances at the basket out of 2 possessions. And that was my focus. I was just trying to get the rebound. And once he missed the ball, I tried to keep tipping it so some more time could run out. Didn't want to grab it right away so they could foul me. And Draymond ended up with it with 0.9 seconds and called a timeout and kept moving from there.
Reed in the back.
Kawhi, Reed Forgrave with CBS Sports, straight ahead. You've been through this roller coaster of a couple years, and now you're sitting with the finals trophy, the MVP trophy next to you again. And I'm curious how these couple years have changed you as a man and changed the way you look at faith and kind of your priorities in life.
Well, just the year last year, a lot of people were doubting me. Thought I was either faking an injury or didn't want to play for a team. And that was disappointing to me that was out in the media, because I love the game of basketball. Like I always say, if we're not playing this game, if we're hurt, I mean, you're down. So me just, going through that, and, I just knew that I have to make myself happy and no one else. And I have to trust myself. And it doesn't matter what anybody has to say about me. I know who I am as a person. I know how I feel. And always just trust yourself. And that was my goal and my focus. And, that's one of the things that, I take on the floor. I don't care about what media has to say about me, or if they want me to score whatever, 30 points, because I did the game before. I'm going to come out and play the right way. I'm not trying to make headlines. And, that's just things that, I pretty much learned just throughout this journey of being in the NBA. So, I mean, that's how I just keep growing up as a man, and that's why I say I just think about my past life and try to learn from situations and be wise and learn from others.
Last 2 questions standing on the left side.
Kawhi, Dan Wicke with the Los Angeles Times. Along those lines, you since Media Day, you've said, I just want to play basketball. I'm curious what it was like emotionally to hear that final horn, to know that a year after you had basketball sort of taken away from you, that you were able to be on stage with an MVP trophy, to be in a locker room. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. Like I said, last summer was tough. I was still rehabbing. And, just trusted the process really with myself, and told myself I'll be back. I wasn't going to come back until I could be the player I am today. I wanted to come back in the same shape and form without, coming out playing 5 games and then re-injuring something. I wanted to be able to play the season, or what I did this year. I wasn't able to play 82, but I'm happy that I got to the 60 games. But just be able to win this championship this year is just something special for me, because you know how the last year everybody was looking at me, and I stayed true to myself, and I had a great support system. And once I got here to Toronto, they understood everything, and the move kept moving from there.
Last question, standing in the back.
Martenzie Johnson, the undefeated. You're obviously known as someone known for their defense. How special was it to receive the MVP award from Bill Russell?
It was very special. Obviously, I didn't come out in this series trying to win it. It was a whole group collectively. Tonight, Fred played amazing in that fourth. Kyle played amazing tonight throughout the whole game. Pascal played big. And, I just kept striving and, pushing. And, I ended up with the trophy, but everybody deserves it.
Everybody deserves it indeed, and Kawhi Leonard certainly deserved the Finals MVP. He was the straw that stirred this drink, boy, throughout the course of the year. And you go back to all the times and all the talk during the course of the season. The load management. Is he going to stay? Is he going to be happy? How healthy is he? He only played 9 games last year. Boy, it paid dividends, and he did not miss a beat or a game during the NBA playoffs, never mind the NBA Finals. Kawhi Leonard, MVP of this team, MVP of the Finals. Pascal Siakam had a breakout season for the ages as well. And people talked about the Raptors' depth. And, you looked at Golden State with Curry, with Thompson, with Durant. And, of course, we know what happened to both Thompson and Durant in this series. But Iguodala, Draymond Green, this team had so many stars, but Siakam became a star himself. And that was a big part of the Raptors' success throughout the playoffs. He addressed reporters at the podium as well.
Pascal, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
You all have a lot of international players on your team. How did the diversity of the team and the staff play a part in this championship?
I think it meant a lot, just having guys from different countries and speaking different languages. I think it kind of like got us close together, and you kind of have all those little kind of friendship with guys that you can speak the same language with, and from Spanish to French to English, different cultures, and I think it kind of represents Toronto in general, having that diversity.
Third row over here, Lyle.
Pascal, Olivier Paradis-Lemieux, Radio-Canada. Est-ce que tu peux me décrire un petit peu tes émotions d'être champion et peut-être un peu aussi tout le parcours que tu as eu pour te rendre jusqu'à être maintenant pour cette casquette sur la tête?
Je sais pas quoi dire. C'est inexplicable. Juste être ici, avoir l'opportunité de jouer et de gagner la NBA Finals, j'ai pas les mots en fait pour exprimer ma joie et c'est juste mon parcours et tout ce que j'ai fait, avoir l'opportunité d'être là aujourd'hui, représenter l'Afrique, le Cameroun. Je pense qu'il n'y a rien au-dessus de ça en fait. Juste avoir ça et pouvoir gagner pour toute une nation, pour tout un continent, c'est vraiment, je suis top en fait.
Second row over here.
Pascal, congratulations. Valeria Rubino, V-Sport, Corriere della Sera. Can you tell us what the feeling is of being a champ? Did you realize what just happened?
Yeah, hopefully I can kind of like take it in a little bit, minute by minute. I mean, the champagne makes it hard, but it's amazing. It's amazing. Just excited, happy, kind of like seeing. It's hard to just sit down and think about everything, but just the hard work and everything you put in to be able to be here at this level and be able to win. It's a dream. It's a dream, and it feels amazing to be able to realize their dreams.
Davide, again on the left side.
Pascal, Davide Chinelato, Gazzetta Italy. What do you think made this team the best team in the league? What makes you so special, guys?
I think we have. As a team, obviously we have the best player in the league and best player in this playoffs in Kawhi Leonard. But I think together, we kind of like have this unit, like a bunch of guys that will go out there and wasn't, they weren't, top picks or whatever the case might be, but guys that just go out there and work every single day and try to be the best that they can be, and unselfish. It didn't matter, in the beginning of the season, Mark starting or Serge starting, and we had that change, and every single time, kind of like everyone kind of sacrificing everything for the team and the greater good. I think that's what makes us so special. Just that we are a team, and that's what makes us dangerous.
Again on the aisle over here.
Pascal, une autre question en français. Nicolas Landry de RDS à Montréal. Quelle est ton appréciation du travail de Nick Nurse cette saison, tout au long de la saison avec vous, à sa première saison comme entraîneur-chef dans la NBA?
Je pense que c'était bien, très bien pour lui d'être un coach sa première année en NBA. Bien sûr qu'il était dans le G League, mais c'est sa première saison en NBA. Et bien sûr, il avait des choses à apprendre, mais il a continué à travailler dur et nous a donné l'opportunité d'être à ce niveau aussi. Donc, c'est une très bonne saison pour lui. Je pense qu'il va continuer à travailler dur pour pouvoir être le meilleur qu'il peut être. Mais je pense qu'il a fait un très bon boulot.
Robert on the right side.
Robert Littell, BSO. Nick Nurse has always talked about your improvement in your game and just how you expanded it out and everything. Can you talk a little bit about how he's been able to help you as a coach and what he brought to the team in his first year here to get you kind of to this point?
I think, it's kind of like credit to him, just kind of using the pieces that he had and kind of seeing me being able to do different things on the floor and kind of exploring that and giving me a chance to go out there, not only me, but giving the confidence to guys like Fred and Norm and everyone, kind of like feeling like it's a equal opportunity type of team. Obviously knowing who our best player is, but just continuing to trust each other and having that mindset that at any time anyone can go off, and he kind of gave us that freedom. So that's credit to him, and he's been able to do a great job with that.
Take final two questions over there, and on the third row over here.
Pascal Palantunas, ESPN Brazil. Just if you could touch on your journey in the last 2 weeks, getting to the final, having that wonderful game one where you were 14 from 17 from the floor, everything that just came with the finals. Can you describe that feeling and everything that you went through, please?
Right. For me, it's a lot of ups and downs, man. And I think that's what make the journey so exciting. Just because you're not at your best, you're not the best that you can be. I think for me, as a player, a young player, just going out there every single day, knowing that I'm nowhere near where how good I can be, and it kind of gives me that opportunity to go out there and learn every single day, make mistakes and have bad games, but just continue to trust my work and everything that I put in to be here at this level, knowing that I deserve to be here at this level, and kind of working every single day to be the best player that I can be. It's gonna have bad games. I'm gonna miss shots, a lot of them, but at the same time, I just have to have the confidence to go out there and be myself and play the game that I love. And I think everything will always be okay when I do that.
Last question, third row in the center.
Kahari Jones, Post-Up Zone. Just speaking back on your journey, how do you feel like this will inspire your kids in the Basketball Without Borders program?
Oh man, I think it means a lot. It means a lot. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm here and I have this flag and kind of representing Cameroon and Africa. I think for me as a kid, I didn't have the opportunity to dream about this moment. I didn't think I could make it. I didn't think this was possible as a kid, and I think a lot of kids don't think that it's possible. And just me being able to be here today and telling them that, hey, look at me, I was a lowest crowning kid from Cameroon, Douala, and we just, I couldn't even think about this moment, but here I'm at, as a champion, and I just want to tell them that it's possible, and that if you believe in something, go out there and work hard for it. Might sound cliche, but it's the truth. I'm the proof.
It is the truth. What a great statement there by Pascal Siakam. Finally, the architect of this, the guy that made the big deals, that put it all together, General Manager Masai Ujiri with Brad and Alvin from Sportsnet right after the game.
All right, Masai,
we'll get to the history and the making of this team the last calendar year or so, but give me your reaction when that final buzzer sounded after they made you wait about 3 minutes for the review to make sure that the clock was set where it was supposed to be.
That review lasted like 4 hours, didn't it? And I was wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I'll tell you, I'm feeling like this or feeling like that. I can't even feel it right now. You know, like it hasn't sank in. I hope. I'm going on a long plane right now, and I know it will sink in, but it's unbelievable for the players and the coaches and ownership. Alvin knows, you know, like these guys paved the way for us, and we kept growing, kept building, and here we find ourselves with another ring.
Absolutely. Nice. Going through everything you've been going through since coming here, right? I look at you, I've always seen a confident man. Decisions you had to make to get the Raptors where they are today, how much doubt, how many days were there where you were unsure about some of the decisions you had to make, some of the decisions you didn't make? How did you go about that?
Honestly, Alvin, there are so many trades, decisions that we don't make, and you're like, man, thank God I didn't do that one. You know what I mean? Like I say, being as humble as I can, that I never regret. You prepare. I have an unbelievable team. These guys, Bobby Webster, Teresa, Dan, Keith, they prepare us well, you know, like for these moments. And when you prepare well is when you make decisions that are not, there's no preparation, then you doubt. But we never do that. You know, we have to go through it tons and tons of times and go through a process. And when you prepare well, you just put your hands up and say, you know what, we're going in like this, and this is how we're going to die with it. And that's what we did with those decisions. And people talk about how tough it was and blah and all the reaction, you know, like, but that's sports, right? You know, like it's up and down, you know, and people react differently. But, you know, here we are, and with a little bit of luck. Yeah, you need plenty luck in sports. So I want to emphasize that. A couple of their players hurt, a few bounces here, and then resilience and toughness, because this team is tough. This team is really tough.
Well, you talk about that long plane ride. I'm sure it will sink in. It'll hit you more than a few times, and then we will see you on Monday in downtown Toronto for the parade that's been 26 years in the making since the last time they did that.
Oh, is it Monday? The parade is on Monday?
Yeah.
Is it? I didn't even know yet.
I hope the side gets the memo at some point.
I know. I didn't get the memo yet. I checked my phone.
Congratulations.
I'm so happy for
Thank
you, man.
I'll say Alvin has declared the parade is on Monday.
Yeah, okay.
Parade's Monday at 10 o'clock. We've been waiting 24 years for the Toronto Raptors and 26 years since the Blue Jays won to say the parade is Monday at 10 o'clock. What a great parade of phone calls we had tonight. We thank you so much, everybody. Josh Goldberg was with me the first couple of hours. Josh Santos, technical director. Maria Saint-Aubin, screening all your calls. What a great job, guys. Fantastic work. Thanks to Eric Smith and Nav Bhatia, who called us. How about that? Thanks to all of you for your calls. Fans, Raptor fans, you waited a long time for this, but now I'm happy to say one more time, the 2019 NBA champions are your Toronto Raptors. Enjoy it, everybody. I'm Roger Lajoie. Thanks for listening to Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Reach me on Twitter at TheFan590. Starting lineup is coming up next, and we're going to be talking about this Raptor win for the next, I don't know, decade or so. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'm Roger Lajoie. Thanks to everybody watching on YouTube. We'll talk to you soon on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Go Raptors!
Hi, I'm Rob Riopel, president of Smith & Long, a full-service electrical contractor that's been around since 1930. Smith & Long was the first to successfully merge electrical and computer fields, developing expertise in technical systems. We attract the most challenging projects in the business, which calls for the most talented electrical technicians around. Our workers are all members of IBEW Local 353, which guarantees our clients the best value and quality in the business. Working with IBEW Local 353 ensures that our clients receive excellence at work.
Hanging out after work was great, but I'm exhausted. I just want to go home and crawl into bed. I think I'm good to drive. I've driven this route 1,000,000 times. Research shows people often can't accurately judge their level of impairment after drinking, and they may not be safe to drive.
Hey, Liz, I know you said you feel okay, but you've had more than a few. Ride with me and we'll get your car tomorrow.
Drunk driving is a woman's issue, too. Learn how to reduce the risk at changetheconversation.ca.
Guys, I know you don't want to talk about it. You've been filing it in the back of your mind, and it's just been gnawing at you. Today's the day you finally do something about it. Gaines Wave Therapy, provided by Oakwood Health Network, is a revolutionary treatment for erectile dysfunction. It's long-lasting. There are no needles and no, oh, I have to take a pill moments. Perform better and regain your spontaneity with Gaines Wave Therapy and Oakwood Health. Book your free consultation at oakwoodhealth.com. That's oakwoodhealth.com.
To all the doubters, all the haters, but more importantly, all the super fans across the GTA, Hyundai has come to win. Celebrate 0% lease and finance rates available on select models OAC with Toronto's biggest super fan, Nav Bhatia, at Mississauga and Rexdale Hyundai during the big summer savings event. On now to June 30th. Check out the first ever Palisade coming later this month.
It's the slam dunk deal of the year.
Visit RexdaleHyundai.ca and MississaugaHyundai.com for details.
Irwin is searching for Canada's tradesperson of the year. It could be your mechanic, builder, plumber, electrician, or maybe it's you. Nominate a tradesperson that you think deserves to win a custom trophy, along with a 2019 double cab TRD Toyota Tundra, valued at over $47,000. Enter online at nationaltradesmanday.ca to nominate Canada's tradesperson of the year. Nominations are open now through September 13th. Irwin, trade strong.
Have you ever gotten an F? Now's the time. Hi, this is Alistair Baxter from Lexus on the Park. Our Lexus F Sport event is on now. Your opportunity to get an F Sport with rates starting from 0.9% and cash incentives of up to $4,000. But only until June 30th. Come and see me. And remember, I'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of mine. Lexus on the Park, located at Leslie and Eglinton. Or visit lexusonthepark.ca for details.
For over 90 years, Canadians have chosen steel to get the job done. Steel dealer days are back this spring, with chainsaws starting at $199.95, blowers $189.95, and trimmers at only $159.95. With over 1,000 authorized full-line steel dealers across Canada, it's easy to find expert advice, on-site service, and Canada's #1 selling brand of gas-powered equipment.
Available at Senso Group Building Supplies Toronto, Alpine Lawn and Garden Scarborough, and Dixon Small Engines Whitby.
License 10587.
You're approved, and you're approved, and you're approved for first, second, or third equity-only home mortgages despite your income. Credit, even if in power of sale. Simply apply in just 3 minutes anytime at savers.ca. That's SAV like Victor, ERS.ca.
Count on Savers Mortgage, 493-1983. The problem solvers.
That's 416-493-1983 or apply anytime at savers.ca.
Here's to Toronto, to the cities that make us greater, to the people, to the places, to the new faces. Here's to Vaughan, to a city designed to move you. Here's to 905's most exciting new community, to perfect cappuccino and meals that never end. Here's to modern living at Mobilio. Here's to the many that never accept second best. Menkes.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform for video conferencing, phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms. Connect easily from anywhere, your mobile phone, your laptop, or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.